it's your girl, Kira Jo, with another Gem Therapy tip. I just finished my Sunday night Gem ministry where I get to share the Word of God, the Bible, break it down. Anyway, so I'm bringing this up because what I'm talking about today is very important, and it has to do with sense of belonging. You know, a lot of times in therapy, when people come to therapy, they struggle with mental illness. Mental illness in and of itself is looked at as, it's stigmatized, basically. It's not looked at as positive, even though people try to make it cool, like even James Brown. Remember James Brown? He was like, I don't know karate, but I know crazy. You know? Crazy ain't cool. When crazy don't give you no superpower ability to fight, and it is really, really a very difficult thing to be able to manage your mental health effectively, and to be able to understand that mental health is health. When people look at you and they say, yeah, that's just your bipolar, or you depressed, you know what I'm saying, or they say all these negative things, but the reality is that, you know, mental health is very difficult, and I'm talking today about how mental health makes you feel as if you don't belong. It can contribute to you feeling like you don't belong, right? So how do you feel like you don't belong? Well, each mental health illness has its own criteria of symptoms. So if I was to use depression, for example, depression by itself, the symptoms of depression include hopelessness, helplessness. It includes that whole isolation. Isolation is a symptom of depression. It doesn't mean that every time you isolate that you're depressed. It's just one of the symptoms. And so all of that contributes to you feeling like you don't belong. It's very difficult to feel like you belong if you're isolating, if you're sad, if you're hopeless, if you're helpless, if you're having morbid thoughts, if you're oversleeping, undersleeping. You get this kind of disconnection from society because of your symptoms. So sense of belonging is super important. So you might say, well, why are you talking about sense of belonging if you're talking about mental health symptoms which automatically feel like you don't belong? I'm saying that it's very important as a coping skill to be able to find a place where you have that sense of belonging, right? So sense of belonging means that you are amongst people that share similar interests, that share similar values, that share similar goals. That is sense of belonging in a nutshell, right? Some of us are with people that we don't have a sense of belonging, and we're there for other reasons. We connect to people for a whole lot of reasons. Sometimes it's because they share the same blood, but that doesn't mean you have a sense of belonging. Sense of belonging, it really, really has to do with a commonality, right? And a commonality that's not just because I'm black and you're black, that means we belong together. No, it is a commonality in terms of purpose, in terms of interests, and more things that have to do with issues of the heart, right? So we love similar, we love compatibly, we love healthily. You know what I'm saying? I'm going all over the place in some respect, but the principal staple of what I'm saying is don't minimize sense of belonging. Sense of belonging is very important, especially when mental health is already something that contributes to feeling like you don't belong, okay? So challenge that feeling like you don't belong to look at the things, what moves you, what makes you happy, what are you interested in, and, you know, try to make it your business to connect to people that share those interests. That is one of the best coping skills. They used to call it support groups, but that's one of the best coping skills that you can have, is to be able to be connected to people that you have that sense of belonging to. So no, this wasn't deep. This is not one of those gem therapy tips. This is those gem therapy tips that are as deep as how to manage hallucinations, how to deal with a narcissist, or how to combat depression, stress, and anxiety. This is one of those therapy tips that has to do with how to cope. My mental health issues do not define me. I may have depression. I may have bipolar. I may have borderline personality disorder. I don't really have them. I'm just saying. If anybody has them, it doesn't define you. You know what I'm saying? So define yourself and find people that share those common things, because it's one of the best coping skills that you can do, where you can begin to experience that togetherness with people that are like-minded. All right? I don't know, if you have questions, hit me up. I'm here to help you, because mental health is health. Work it. You're worth it. Gems. Love you.